We're gonna spend today in my favorite place, and that's my kitchen. I'm gonna show you some things that I always keep prepped in my fridge so I can just grab them at a moment's notice. I've been toying with this idea that the number one reason produce goes bad in the fridge is because it goes unprepped. And while our intention is so good when we're buying it, it just sits there. And I'm gonna not only show you how to prep possibly food that you have in your fridge, but in the show notes, I'm also gonna make a grocery list of everything that I prepped so that if you wanna do this exact meal prep, you can do the same thing. This is like some of my favorite stuff and it lasts in the fridge for a few days, so you won't have to just prep it the next day so quickly. The things I'm gonna start out with is a pineapple. This lasts for honestly a few days. Pineapple, one of the best fruits you could start out with in the morning. It has such a high amount of bromelain, which means it's pre-digested. It goes through the body so quickly. It's super cleansing. Truly one of the best fruits you could have. Next thing that I'm gonna make is one of my favorite things on the planet. I post about it all the time and it's my Everything Tahini Sauce. I call it my Everything Tahini Sauce not just because I put it on everything, but because it serves as such an amazing base for so many different dishes. Like, I'll steam a bunch of vegetables and if I just pair it with my Everything Tahini Sauce, it tastes so good. On top of that, if I make the Everything Tahini Sauce, whisk in a little bit of rice vinegar, a little bit of tamari, a little bit of lime, maybe I blend it up with some cilantro. I can use that for my tahini noodles that I love to make. It's really versatile and it can be used for sauces, dressings, so many different things. I also want you to notice something. Sometimes you don't have to prep everything. It's not a big deal if you buy pre-prepped things. Yes, they might be like $3 more expensive, but guess what? It's not gonna sit in your fridge, just like that garlic bulb that you don't want to touch because you don't want your hands to smell like garlic. Start out with some very cold water, put in some tahini. This is probably a half cup of water. You could put 1/4 cup of tahini. Just eyeball it in again because I make it so much. Garlic is so personal. I use about 3 cloves of garlic. You can use as much or as little as you'd like. Some sea salt. Can you tell just like how amazingly creamy this is? It will thicken up even a little bit more in the fridge. And if you like that like I do, then that's amazing. If you don't, just add a little bit more cold water into it and give it another whirl in a blender. You can also just do this all by hand by whisking. It's a salad dressing, it's a sauce, it's great on its own, or you can drink it. The next thing I'm gonna show you is something everyone freaks out over when I teach a workshop, and that's my spicy cabbage slaw. All you do is you take some cabbage, be really careful with the mandolin. It's my favorite tool in the kitchen, but it's the #1 tool that actually sends people to the ER. So just make sure to face the blade away from you, to angle it down like this. Put the mandolin actually in the bowl and it doesn't slip as much. Put some carrots in, and again, I'm being really real with you. It is not like I prep every single thing. I will buy pre-shredded carrots because I don't feel like shredding all these carrots. There's no other explanation. Just don't feel like it. Cilantro is one of my favorite herbs, and it makes everything just taste so much yummier to me. You could also add in some chives. You could add in parsley if you don't like cilantro or have that gene that some people have. And guess what the dressing base is for this salad? The Everything Tahini Sauce, obviously. Tahini sauce, a little maple syrup, a citrusy, tangy punch, also a little spicy. You could also just use a squeeze of lime and a little jalapeno or crushed red pepper flakes to achieve the same goal. This will stay good in the fridge for about 3 days. This next one, I felt like such a genius when I thought of it. It's marinated avocado. The coolest part about this one is that you can make the sauce and then throughout the week, you can replenish with a brand new avocado. So eat as much as you want and then the sauce will still be good. Just add another avocado in. First things first, we're gonna add in tamari. Juice of 1 whole lemon. You can add in fresh garlic, but I'm feeling just a little bit lazy. So I'm gonna do some garlic powder, some red pepper, some sea salt. I have a couple of avocados. Avocados like this are kind of perfect in this marinade. Also, you could plop it on a bowl of rice salad. You could wrap it in some nori, a big nori sheet. Really fun thing I want to note, having both the marinated avocado and the spicy cabbage slaw prep, be able to accomplish one thing that I always preach. It's one of the food combining principles, and that's eating raw leafy greens before anything cooked. Something that I know isn't the most practical, but a couple days worth of fresh pressed juice. Having a fresh juice in the morning alone on an empty stomach, I feel all the vitality going through me. It's the most natural, best way to get that boost of energy before you have any sip of caffeine. This knife I got influenced to buy from TikTok. It's a vegetable and fruit knife, and I'm obsessed with it. The juice I like to make consists of celery, carrot, apple. This is something that Gil, my gut health guru, if you don't know him, go check out my episode with him. He is my favorite person. And he gave me this juice recipe. Sometimes I'll add pineapple to it. I add some fennel to it too sometimes. Some ginger. This week I'm gonna add this much ginger. Not an ad, but NutriBullet. Feel free to sponsor me. I love using this pulp. It's dehydrated, meaning I can throw this pulp into a mix for meatballs or into a mix for a bolognese, into a mix for falafels, things that I really just want to get crispy. The fact that you're using veggies that are stripped of the hydration will make sure that those cooked items, those baked items won't get mushy and soggy during the baking process. So that's why I like to keep the pulp. The cleanup and just jump to, it spilled everywhere. It's really fun ending my day with juice, which is how I'm gonna start my day tomorrow. And for the rest of the night and the next few days, I'm going to eat everything I just prepped. And it's the weekend, so thank God. I'm so excited to not have to prep everything over the weekend. If you have any questions about anything you saw or anything you'd like to see, or if you have any specific recipe breakdowns, if you'd like a pasta recipe, a sheet pan meal, mention it in the comments. And again, all recipes that you saw today are going to be in the show notes. I'm your wing woman in the kitchen. I want you to know that. And I'm here to be your ally and to make your life just a little bit easier. It's so important to do things like this so that you're able to reclaim your energy and get back to feeling your best. And what better way to start doing that than in the kitchen? There's literally no better place. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.